Hello, my friends and viewers. This is Gabriela Stardust reporting here from New Braunfels, Texas, which is between San Antonio and Austin. This video clip will be for information and education purpose only, and it will not report today. I will not report today about Nemesis, Nibiru, Second Sun, Wormwood, neither about, the 1 mile long asteroid, which actually passed this morning around 6 a.m. our Earth, and obviously did not do any damage, which I am happy for. But the one in India, which was a little bit smaller, but it did a 20-foot crater into the Earth in India. But this video clip have nothing to do with any of this. I will report in this video about the coronavirus disease, which is short called COVID-19, which is not a virus classified as a related and categorized flu virus or even SARS. This virus is an unknown virus and is an experimental crisscross experiment between two virions and have now the ability to replicate and also have mutated. But how and why could this happening, and what is actually the story behind it? Because it comes out of a laboratory in Wuhan, China, and the officials are stating it is just another flu virus, a little bit different than the other one. It goes, on the respiratory at people, and it gives you headache and fever and other well-known flu-related symptoms. But I will tell you a different story here and where it actually and why it came up. I received material from a very credible source, but I'm not going to give any information out to this person, what this person not allow by itself to give. While working in a high-ranked office for a Chinese regime, his identity must be anonymous because he could face the death penalty. This man is very well known. He cannot give his identity because he will be killed, maybe put in jail, maybe his family would be wiped out. We do not know what would happen, but I cannot do that. And actually, I do not even know who this person is. 2019, protesters almost overrun the Chinese authorities because the younger generation is now fighting for democracy, and they do not like the communism regime and the way they put their people under pressure not to say anything, not to do what they like to do. We know how the Communist Party, or regime is working. We have seen this in many, many other countries. We know how it can lead to. And when that happened last year, the Chinese regime actually did not have their people under control anymore. So they start getting scared because the younger generation is very powerful, and with having internet, and the ability to see what other countries are doing, what they are allowed to do, and how they live their lives. Because, under democracy, those people going on the streets and they are fighting for their rights. The Chinese regime start being very desperately when that happened, and they said we cannot let this go through. We have to stop our people. So they made the decision that they had an experimental virus in their laboratory, and they start this experiment by taking it out into the outside town of Wuhan, where they put this virus out, and it was very aggressive. It was just a small town with maybe around 500 people, what I understood so far. And first, it was going to affect the thoughts of those people. And why that was going to influence the thought of people was or is to manipulating the ability to make decisions. After seeing people reacting very irrational, and you can classify that like people with schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia, the people become very delusional and somewhat suicidal. These people, after the first stage of showing those signs in very short time, they became very ill at the second stage of this virus outbreak, or this manipulating, a city controlling or town controlling stage. And these people, they melted from inside to the outside, which means suddenly they start bleeding out of every open body part, and out of eyes and ears, like we have seen, with Ebola virus. But this virus is far away from the Ebola virus, I can tell you that, people. What they did after those people, start showing the symptoms and acting violent and crazy and suicide by themselves, and started, bleeding from the inside to the outside, the Chinese authorities burned this town to the ground. For sure, people start questioning because, family members start missing their family members, and there was a research going on. But still desperating, to keep their population and people and citizens of China under control, they start crisscrossing two viren out of the family, let me say, out of a viral-related family. They start crisscrossing those viren and asking about the disease in the small town, and reports was giving out also, and other nations start getting involved. Suddenly, other countries showed interest how it could be used as a bioweapon for war purposes only, they claimed. In 2019, at the end of October, after all this was happening in China, and many things they did not even spread outside, they was holded, behind the curtains in their country. Other countries become interested, and it was explained by the Chinese leaders and authorities that it could be used as a bioweapon. At the beginning or end of October 19 and beginning of November 2019, several countries, and I will let you know in a minute which countries are these, I will read them to you. It was Canada, Australia, USA, Russia, and some European countries invested millions to pay for an unknown patent, for an unknown virus which occurred last year, and they paid for this patent within those months of October, November, December. These countries I just read to you, they paid millions for that to have the patent and the hand on this unknown, ordinary, called flu virus. Under highly precaution to transfer this now crisscrossed virus and highly contagious virus with a huge chance of killing people with a weak immune system, pre-existing conditions, and mainly in male individuals appearing first, China started using it first. But the widespreading in a very short time and the uncontrolled outbreak was now another problem for the leader. And it was not foreseen, neither can an antidote be found, which I think is very irresponsible. And I actually cannot find any words for this irresponsible doing of this country. So by not having even an antidote and have not found an antidote there where the virus could be stopped to replicate or to mutate, it is now an outbreak which is uncontrolled. Chinese desperate fight to isolate and to stop this unpredictable virus sadly failed. That's why his authorities made the decision by the highest court in China to kill people and or to send into jail when not cooperating with authorities or not reporting of a known person with an outbreak or an outbreak by themselves. Put this just in a cheap excuse. They put this just in a cheap excuse to justify the killing of Chinese populations, citizens who not obey the communism regime. And that's actually what is all behind that when it comes up to China. The number this regime has given out were never the real amount of numbers and of infected and sick people, because the regime tried to prevent a nationwide panic and protest against Chinese communistic regime in their own country once again. This bioweapon is now knowingly used by other nations to depopulate their citizens under the pseudonym of a flu virus, unknown reacting virus, mutating virus, uncontrolled virus, and unknown